This is another review. Actually, this is going to be a double review, which means I'm going to have to make it kind of quick so I can get it under the 15-minute mark for YouTube. This is a book called Bigfoot in the News by Daniel W. Murphy. Now you may be wondering, Murphy, that name sounds familiar. Well, that's because this was compiled by the son of Chris Murphy. And this book was actually published by Pyramid Publications, which was a subsidiary of Progressive Research, which was Chris Murphy and Renee DeHinden's joint effort research group back in the 90s up in Canada, before Renee and Chris parted ways. Essentially, this essentially puts together a lot of newspaper articles and things like that. It's a compilation of newspaper articles. This came out in 1996, and it's just all it is, just basically a compilation of newspaper articles on the Sasquatch and Bigfoot. It's spiral bound, I should say. It's divided into different sections, like you have pre-1958 and then years 1958 to 1969. There is a section, a short section, which is in here. It shows frames from the Patterson-Gimlin film. Let's see if I can find... yes, and some other things. Okay, I'm just about to that section. Here it is. Here's some frames from the Patterson-Gimlin film. Here's a shot of Renee DeHinden with two plaster casts. This was in England. He was in England, and you can see there's an English bobby. There's a shot of Renee DeHinden with Ivan T. Sanderson. A shot of the late John Napier, Dr. John Napier. Here's a shot of the house at Ruby Creek, which it's no longer there. There's the two trees. There was a new home built in 1994 on the site. Only the two trees are there. I remember Thomas Steenberg did it when he did his presentation at the Sasquatch Summit last year. Talked about the two trees, the twin trees. This is one of the homeowners. There's some more frames from the Patterson-Gimlin film. These are the tracks, or the casts of the tracks left behind, compared to a bear print. Here's a shot of Patterson and Gimlin shortly after they got the film. This is a shot of Chris Murphy's sons. This is Daniel, the one who compiled this book. And this is Chris Murphy Jr. And that's Renee DeHinden. There's a shot of Dan with John Green in John Green's home. And here's a shot. This shot is in Meet the Sasquatch and Know the Sasquatch Bigfoot. Several researchers, among them Larry Lund, Warren Thompson, there's Renee DeHinden, Daniel Perez, Dan Murphy, the late Barbara Wasson, later Barbara Wasson Butler. It says May 1995. There's a shot of Renee DeHinden signing a footprint cast. So it splits into different sections, and there's all kinds of newspaper articles in here, which are collected, which were collected through microfiche and photocopy, things like that. Really good compilation. It really kind of gives you an idea of how, you know, Bigfoot or Sasquatch made the news, would make the news, and that people would bring these articles to people to researchers' attention and things like that. Of course, nowadays you can just go online. You can find a good newspaper site. But back then, back in the mid-90s, you had to search newspaper archives and things like that. There's an article about Jerry Crew. Yeah, he knew what to do. Jerry Crew, he knew what to do. I think this particular book, I think I really like it for the fact that it collects all these different reports and things like that. This book kind of paved the way. I give this book a solid 9 out of 10 because of the fact that it compiled so many newspaper articles. This book, I think, may have been the inspiration and paved the way for the next item I'm going to review, which is called Big Newsprints, which was compiled by Scott McClean back in 2006. There's a good color frame of the Patterson Gimlin film, frame 350, and kind of a forward, I suppose, and then there's different articles that are compiled, that have been compiled. And they're split into international and also into different states and also the Canadian provinces and things like that. Scott really did a heck of a job on it, I thought, on Big Newsprints. He really did excellently, I thought. Some articles about the Yeti, the abominable snowman. Reports that, there's reports that go back, many hundreds of years. I'm not sure how many reports Scott collected just for the CD-Rom alone, or for the book, when it originally came out. It was published. I actually won the CD-Rom at the Ohio Bigfoot Conference 2008, and there's just all kinds of. I could go through all of these. But not only is there it's not just, Scott didn't just do the book, or he also had some updates. He included some updates with the CD-ROM, and there's several other newspaper articles. Not sure how many, but he really did a bang-em-up job as far as putting all this together. These are just the updated articles here. Also, he put up a PDF called Strange Howls, which was found in the Library of Congress online archives. And they're noted for their possible relation to Sasquatch. Some, weird noises that were heard, that have been heard through the years. And it's just basically a PDF of of that. And then there's also a Buddy Knox bonus. You have the Buddy Knox Bigfoot song, which was simply, it was called the Bigfoot song. There are some photographs of Buddy Knox. Now, it's also supposed to have an interview with Buddy Knox also. So, but yeah, Scott really did an excellent job on this. I would say it also would be a 9 out of 10 on a scale from 1 to 10. Scott really did a great job on compiling all the different reports and things of that nature for the CD-ROM. So I do recommend getting either Bigfoot well, actually I recommend both of them. I'm not so sure if you can still get Bigfoot in the News. You can still get the CD-ROM of Big Newsprints, however. You just go to McClean.org and you can order the CD-ROM from Scott McClean. So yeah, I highly recommend both of them. Yeah, I do highly recommend both of them.